the start is always difficult. The start is always difficult, and when you have a vision, it takes long for people to understand your vision.
Yeah.
And then one thing I've understood is that you must communicate your vision. You must let people know what you want to do. When money is given to you, it's a different thing. But once you build your own money, you create your own finances, you will be able to manage it, grow it, and even multiply. So the mindset of money after my studies now is that money should have a purpose. Money should have a purpose. Money is not only for consumption. Money we can still use. You make money sustainable.
So welcome to Show Me the Money, the podcast where local ambition meets real-world strategies. Every week, we unpack the stories, the mistakes, the breakthroughs, the bold decisions behind entrepreneurs shaping tomorrow's economy. Here, we cut through the noise, decode the hustle, and turn lived experiences into lessons you can actually use. So whether you're building from scratch or scaling to greatness, this is your space. Let's get into it. Show me the money. Hello. Welcome to yet another edition of Show Me the Money. I am your host, Richard Atemojong, and I'm very excited, as always, about the edition for today. My guest for today is Dr. Bertha Yenwo. She's an educationist, she's an entrepreneur, I dare say a serial entrepreneur. She's a trainer of women, and in this time that we're talking about the exploits and the advances that women have made despite the challenges that society is putting on them, I am very excited to have this conversation, and I hope that in the course of time, as you enjoy this conversation, you'd learn a thing or two. She's the author of the book From Uncertainty to Influence, and in the course of our conversation today, we will dive into some of the subjects that she's beautifully articulated in her book. I am looking forward to it, and so you're very much welcome, ma'am, and it's a pleasure for us to have you.
Thank you, Richard. I'm so delighted to be here this morning with you to share my leadership experiences and my life experiences, all I've gone through, the challenges I've had, so that others can learn from me.
I'm really hoping that others would learn from you. And I actually want to start with that. But before I go, I realized, so when I was just talking, I didn't really put it into context. So this is also CEO and founder of the Mike Denny Institute of Excellence. One of the things that sold me on Mike Denny Institute of Excellence, ma'am, is how excellent the environment looks. So you took time, set up a beautiful structure, nice playground. I could tell that there was some thought that went into this. And that first day we had that conversation in your campus, I'm not even sure you noticed I was behind the camera, but then I was wondering to myself, what would make someone want to establish an institution and an organization like this? What were you thinking when you said, I want to build the Mike Denny Institute of Excellence?
Thank you, Richard. Building a school like what I've done, it's not a business, it's not about money, it's about the vision. The vision of Mike Denny has been to cultivate the culture of excellence, to inculcate values to young people at that very early age, so that tomorrow they can be able to manage themselves, manage their environment, and be good citizens. Because when we started Mike Denny, we had a lot about the decadence, the moral decadence. So I came up with this idea, with this vision. And what we do is that we inculcate values in Mike Denny. When we inculcate values, we build character. We build character of the individuals. And you don't only build character, we develop their competencies. When we develop the competencies, We are there now to achieve the excellence. So it is about that. And everyone, all the teachers, you must know the vision. You must be part of the vision. It will be better for us. Like this year, every year we have a theme. This year the theme has been be a leader, whatever it takes.
Yeah. So take us back to the start of it, because now this is an institution with thousands of primary school children and secondary school children. Did it start so excellently?
It was not excellent because the start is always difficult. The start is always difficult, and when you have a vision, it takes long for people to understand your vision.
Yeah.
And then one thing I've understood is that you must communicate your vision. You must let people know what you want to do. And it takes time, but you must do it. And once people get to know and understand what you're doing, once they buy the vision, then you see them coming in. You see them coming in. And for people to get to that level, it's not always easy.
Yeah.
You need to do a lot. You need to put so much on the table. But make sure that you are trying to do you are doing the right thing. Once people realize that what you are doing, once they come in and once they see if they can get anything from what you are doing, they will align with the vision. They align with the vision. But there are some people don't align with the vision. But what do you do how do you treat people who don't align with your vision? You need to go down, convince them. As we say, leadership is earned. You need to convince them, work with them. Right now, what I try to do is I learn to work with the other person's mindset. Look at why. When you get to the person, try to convince the person. And once the person buys into your vision, you are gone. They will come.
I think you just mentioned the why. Like, why do people react the way they react? Why do people cheat? Why do people fail? Why do people not go? That is actually something very central. What was your why in creating the institute or in doing most of the things that you did?
If my vision has been inculcating values, building that culture that is building the children, making sure that we have good citizens. And to do that, I had to come out with 5 pillars. The first pillar is that you have to diagnose the person in front of you. You talk with all the teachers. You must explain your vision to the teachers and the parents. The parents are all involved. You let them understand that we are in it together. You cannot do it alone. It's a team. All of us are present. And you must know why you are bringing your child to Mike Denny. I know why I've created Mike Denny. So you must also know why you're bringing your child to Mike Denny. You don't just bring your child.
The whys need to align.
Yes, once you are aligned, if I'm talking about values, and you are also interested in the values, you will come.
I see.
You will come. Everybody, you must have a reason for doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Once you know your why, you do it with excellence and with energy. They call it the E and E factor. If you know why, it's just like marriage. If you know why you are getting married to that particular person, whatever happens, you have your reason. You have your reason. And if you know why you want to educate your children, and you want to educate your children in this particular environment,
that makes a lot of sense. Now, you had been working in the public service, retired in 2016 when you decided to start Mike Denny, and you told us that you started with only 5 pupils.
Yes.
That how did that work? So you had retired. Why didn't you rest? What made you dive into a whole new vision at that time?
When my vision of creating a school after my retirement. I thought that when you get to the age of 50, that was the end of life. To me, I thought that at the age of 50, that was the end of life. So as I used to travel to the US, I used these Mary Kay products. I used Mary Kay products. So when I went to buy the Mary Kay products, I bought the Mary Kay book. And while in the plane, I read the Mary Kay's book, and I realized I read her story. That's the business she started at the age of 60 when she retired. She was a sales girl in a cosmetic company, and she was never promoted. As a woman, she was never promoted. She retired at the age of 60 and then created her own products with her 2 sons. So when I looked at the impact of Mary Kay products, that is a business that somebody created at the age of 60. Then that's when I said, but I'm not yet 60. That by then I was 50.
Why give up?
So if somebody can create something at the age of 60 and it has this impact, then I should also create something. That is when I came out with the word create something, own something. Because I read her story, I read her challenges, and I was inspired. So when I came back, I opened my own business at a cosmetics shop at Carrefour Billy. By then, I was still in the civil service. I also had the challenges from there. And then now that when I left the civil service, I went now to open the school. But I went around, I didn't know, I just thought being on retirement, I should open a school. I had no reason for opening the school. So I went around to some people who own schools, and I tried to inquire, how do they do, how to open a school? But I had I went to 3-4 people. But when I went to one person, the proprietor of Lady Bird, she asked me why I wanted to open the school. I didn't know why I wanted to open the school. I was just from the civil service. I was retired. I just wanted to do something because I was retired. And with the inspiration from Mary Kay's book, I wanted to do something. But she asked me this question 3 times. Why do you want to open a school? I could not answer. She said, but why, can you tell me why you want to open a school? I went that day. I could not sleep. I asked myself why I wanted to open the school. And when I got my why, I got the name. Once you get your reason, once you get your purpose, everything flows down. You get the name, you get the motto, you get the logo, you get everything. And once you put your vision down, whatever happens, you continue with your vision. Whether there are 2 people or not, once you have your vision, once you have your reason, you will stick to that reason and to that reason for doing what you are doing, and then you achieve. So those are the ideas that Mary Kay's book, Mary Kay's products, and this idea of knowing why you want to do is very important. It's very important because we see women going around. Sometimes you're just doing something because you saw your friend and you're selling dresses because you saw your friend selling dresses. You're doing this, but you must have a reason. Once you have your reason, you will do it perfectly.
One of the things you mentioned in your book, from uncertainty to influence, it implies that you've had influence for a long time, but you did not even know that was influence, that was leadership that you were exhibiting, because you've worked with several women communities You've built several of them, hundreds of women who have been empowered and have sources of income and live way better economically viable lives today because of your impact, because of your work. Was the school one of those things that also started with uncertainty, but today is now a reference for excellence? And maybe talk to us how that vision or that drive for excellence marries into your work with rural women as well.
I just dived into community work because I identified several problems in my community. I found rural women struggling with their farm inputs, not having farm inputs. I saw in my community people living with disabilities, school dropouts, young girls, teachers who did not master their plan of work. I identified so many things in my community, and then I just dived into it, trying to solve problems and working with women. Started working with rural women, and working with these women, I realized that they had money but couldn't really manage the money. And then I started educating them on financial literacy, all along working with rural women. And in Yaoundé, I was working with women from my community, mostly the urban low-income women. But in all of this, I did not know I was doing leadership. I didn't actually know, there was no language. I did not really know that it was leadership because I had not read leadership. I had not gone into a school of leadership. I started executing projects. I had not gone to a school writing projects. I didn't know how to write projects. But all in my mind was working with, trying to solve the community problems. So, but through all of this, it was not a bed of roses. Some people did not, some people don't, sometimes when you start, some people don't believe in you. Some don't see why you should be doing, they don't have a reason, why should you be doing this? And even when you bring people together, some people don't still believe in you. And at that time, I didn't know I was doing leadership. I didn't know that. I didn't even know about the vision. There was nothing in my mind about vision. I just know I was working with women. I had to talk with women, try to help women. And when I went through all of this, trying to talk with women, when I had all these challenges, but I realized that I kept going. I asked myself, what kept me going with all the challenges? With all the challenges. So when I did my first time of going to the US, I was sitting I was just waiting at Atlanta airport. I just went and picked a book. I didn't even look at the author of the book. But when I read the book, the first lines, the first pages, I say, as a leader, I read, as a leader, you must lead yourself before leading others. I read those lines. And then right in the book, I read another, where there is no vision, the people perish. So it started dawning on me. I didn't know what I was doing. So if there is no vision, I started asking myself, do I have a vision? And what is a vision all about? So that is how I started seeing myself now. When I started reading books, and Professor, I think Joyce Endele, when she came in and spoke about, explain the word empowerment. I had been hearing about empowerment from the radio, from journalists, but I did not know the meaning of that word, the implications. When she taught about empowerment, explained about the Beijing conference, explained everything, that's when it dawned on me that what I've been doing with women has been leadership. I've been empowering women. That is when now I started I went back now, started looking at all my activities, see what I've been doing with women. That is, I realize now that I've been empowering women. I've been empowering women. That was when I was in the civil service. I had not started the Mike Denny school. In the civil service, I kept on working with, while in the civil service, working with women. And there's something I learned from my from the Department of Taxation, the MBO, Management by Objectives. We were trained on that. And all of this, I started looking about trying to understand what was my vision. I need to have results. All of this now came to me, and I started now building myself. That's when I started seeing myself as a leader. I started seeing myself as a leader. And I started questioning myself. What, as a leader, what should you do? I've seen that there must be a vision. I had no vision. When I came back, that was in 2011. That is, I had to change all the way I had been managing women and started asking myself, knowing my vision. That is where now I came to the conclusion that my idea has been putting a smile on the faces of a certain category of women, the rural women, because my mother happens to be in that milieu. Working with the rural women, I understood them. You see women, uneducated women, who spend their time, the least money that they get after the sale of their farm produce, they try to educate their children. And I say, but what is there in that education that somebody who has not gone to school, you want your child to go to school? So when I looked at them, and then they don't think about themselves, they only think about educating their children. So, and then my mother, one of them, because at one time, I think when I was in Form 2, I was sent away from fees. I had not completed my school fees. And just that same day, my mother sold some tins of beans and potatoes. And I went back to school. And it has not only been my mother, most of the women in that community. And that's what they had been doing.
Some schools used to accept those food produced as fees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I think of these women who have never gone to school, you see them along the streets roasting fish, puff, and all they can do is to educate their children. So I said, now, I will want to see how I can put a smile on the faces of these women. That's how my life with the rural women. Working with the rural women, I realized their challenges, financial management, they needed it, and this idea of them, sometimes they should also use that money for themselves.
Yeah.
Because their own idea is that they want, is that was kind of a competition. I want to educate my children. But I had to help them that even though you want to educate your children, you must also think of yourself. So I created this Njangi of myself. You must think of yourself.
The Njangi was called myself.
Myself. Kitukem in Lamso is called Kitukem myself. So you must think of yourself. I started educating them. You must think of yourself, because if you are not in good health, you will not be able to go to the farm.
True.
You will not be able to go to the farm. You will not be able to take care of your children. You will not do anything. The first thing is that you must think of yourself health-wise. I started organizing medical cervical cancer screening, taking doctors to Kumbo to make sure that these women, teaching them to understand that the first thing, you must be healthy. If you are not healthy, you will not take care of your husband, you will not take care of your children, you will not even There's nothing. You will not go to the. You will
Yeah.
not be. You will not be able to do whatever. And those are the kind of things that I started with women, working with the rural women, and I learned a lot from the rural women, and that is how my leadership continued.
The title of the podcast is Show Me the Money. So I want to talk a little about the money part, and especially for the rural women, because you said these women had money, like when they sell and they had money. What are women? Is it that they just, we don't, the money is not visible, or is it that they are content with where they are? But otherwise, why do we still label them rural women when, by almost all accounts and measures, these are the backbones of the economy that Cameroon has or is, and many other African countries are built on the backs of rural women? Why does it still feel like they are the most marginalized?
Yeah, we call them rural women, considering that they are in the rural communities. But these women in the rural communities are doing a great job. They're doing a great job because they supply food to everybody.
They feed the country.
They feed the country. But they themselves do not even understand what they are doing. What their value is. And that is why we had to make them understand. But that is why we bring them now, trying to educate them to understand that they are also part of the community. To them, money is consumption. You get the money and you try to solve the immediate problems. But as I was saying, when you're sick tomorrow, what will you do? You see, they don't have that part of it. To them, as money, when money comes in, you spend. Money is about spending. So understanding them, we actually had to help them. First of all, money is not taught in school. The notion of money is not taught in school.
Yeah.
In my community, our parents didn't want us, the girls, to be money minded.
Yeah.
You see, to them, since they bring up their girls for marriage, they thought that if they allow you to concentrate on money, maybe you can get married to a poor man and it will create a lot of problems. So there's nothing like educating people about money. Money not taught in school. The parents don't teach you about the money.
Yeah.
But then money is very important. So when I realized that money is very important, but we need to make everybody to understand. And there's an incident that actually made me to be talking to the rural women about money. Mostly the political people, when the political months March and November, so that when the politicians get back to the village, they give money to people. And then this notion came of people thinking that money should come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Money coming from Yaoundé. They just thought that when money, anyone who comes from Yaoundé, or if you are from out of the village, even from Bamenda to Kumbo, or even from Yaoundé, they know that if you are coming, you are bringing money. So they started seeing that money from somewhere is, you can use that more than your own money. So I had to change that notion of telling them that you can build your own finances instead of waiting for somebody. Because that money that is given to a group, when the distribution is not well done, it brings conflict. It brings friction, and you see people quarreling just because somebody gave. You see, once you give money to somebody, they think that they spend it at at randomly because they don't see the value. But if you build your own finances, you know that you will be able to manage the money. So I was trying to educate women to change that notion, to know that you can still build your own finances from your own farms, from your own activities. You can build your own finances, and the only thing is that you can manage. If somebody gives you the money, can be have your own money. And that's when the financial literacy came in, that we started now educating the women. Because of your challenges, we started talking about savings. Try to inculcating that culture of savings, keeping something for the rainy day. Because we realize that some of the parents, after the education of their children, some of the children, they just go like that, and when they are old,
the parents have nothing.
They have nothing. And especially menopausal women, when they don't have the money and there's nobody ready to support them, it becomes so difficult for them. You see, I realized so many challenges with women, and I needed to come in with this education. And then coming in with the education is to tell them that when money is given to you, it's a different thing. But once you have you build your own money, you create your own finances, you will be able to manage it, grow it, and even multiply. So the mindset of money after my studies now is that money should have a purpose. Money should have a purpose. We should structure the money, because money is not only for consumption. Money we can still use. You make money sustainable. Yes.
Make money sustainable. In the time working with these women, are there any visible success stories that have stuck with you and that make you want to continue going?
Exactly. Working with these women has been my leadership school. Yes. Especially, I realized that after working with women, there are two main things that I've realized. The issue of money, lack of finances. Women have a lot to do, but they don't have enough money. Even if they have the money, they don't manage it well. And then they lack the skills. These are the two things that I have identified with women. And with the idea that they should build their own finances, I started pushing them to, the culture of savings. Not only saving, you serve for a purpose. Money should have a purpose. This money is for education, is for my health. You don't just, what they used to do? They get money. You see, they sell their products, they get money, and they just keep the money. Anybody comes and they give the money, and then at the same time, when she's sick, she does not have the money. You see, so money should be directed. When the money has a purpose, they should be disciplined. You should discipline yourself with money. So now I started educating them, and we've gone to the point of building a women's trust fund. There's a women's trust fund where from their savings, we have created a structure where we can give out loans. We started in 2013, a small thrift and loan scheme. And now we have gone to the level of Camcol with this structure, where women have loans for their projects.
So it's like a credit union.
Just like a credit union. Because finances, women building their finances is very important. It's very important for them. Why? Because the category of women I work with, they are not the women who will bring out a balance sheet at the end of the month. They are not women who will build a business plan. And funding their activities is not easy.
It's not.
So I had to tell them, you have to build your own finances and your own, that is financial solidarity. You need a rotation, jangi. bring them all of that, and you create the self-help. I've created 16 self-help groups. That through these self-help groups, they try to manage their businesses. That's my own model.
Yeah.
The financial model, helping the women to know that they are the ones responsible for their activities, responsible for their projects. They need each and every one, as groups, we support each other. There's a Njangi, we call the business Njangi, and that's how, they keep pushing their activities. And you make them understand. And then it's not only about the money, about the finances, it's about the skills. You have to train them. Give them the skills, the financial skills. Let them understand that this is how you must know your cash flow. You must know how much is coming in and how much is going out for you to succeed.
Yeah.
You must know, you must learn that.
And so I know that you've trained like women who are tailors, like Bayam Selam communities and all of this. And so the training package involves like, okay, if you make this money buying, sewing a dress or clothes, maybe you spend this to buy materials, so this comes back in, and now they are able to structure their finances and their programming like that. How big is the community of women that you now work with?
I started with the women of my community, but now I'm out of my community. I created a Kawiko, Career Advancement Women for Entrepreneurship. These are just graduates. Because after working with rural women, I saw the problem of the young graduates coming out with their certificates and not having anything to do. So you try to change the mindset. As women, you have to create something, own something.
Yeah.
That's how I came up with this. Create something, own something. You have to, I talk to them, your careers, you have to polish your, your careers, you have to polish up your career. You have to create something, you have to create a business, and you have to champion entrepreneurship, because it's only through entrepreneurship that you have money, and you must create something. And with that, the notion, I've helped many girls have created their companies and so on. And we keep building their skills. They still have to learn, because I myself, I got my certificate. I got 3 certifications during my retirement. I got my leadership certification with John Maxwell after my retirement. I got the project certification from the PMO Global Alliance after my retirement, and I got the business management certification. All of this
after retirement.
After retirement, because working with young girls, as a pace-setting leadership, you must do it, and then you let others see what you are doing, and they will follow.
This is when you're talking about the reality of the dream and difficulties in building a team. And you go, in this environment, it was very difficult to identify other women who were ready to sacrifice to help others through their own difficulties. Because of circumstances, I became a do-it-all-by-yourself person. And that, so you went to school, went to uni, had a degree. We're talking about it of Mike Lisans, as it was called in Yaoundé. Then you worked in the public service in the taxation sector. Then you created the women's associations. You created Mike Denny Institute of Excellence. You've created so many of these things, and even one of the times sometimes you have to take the classes. So I understand how you are a do-it-by-yourself person, and how is this sustainable for the other rural women who now have to learn business management if their tailoring business is to thrive? If you're small Bayam Selam, you go to the farms and you buy and you come sell in the urban markets. If it needs to thrive, you need to learn cash flow and all of this. We're forced by the economy to be do-it-all persons. How are you helping these women cope with that? Because it seems like such a mighty burden, especially because me running a small business, doing it all by yourself is very hard. How did you do it? And what exactly are you telling the women that is enabling them to also be do it by yourself persons? So if this conversation shifted something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Click the subscribe button right now and join a community that refuses to dream small. Follow Summit across all social media platforms on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or even the WhatsApp community. Here, builders, thinkers, creators, and everyday hustlers come together to learn, to grow, and rewrite what is possible for African entrepreneurship. Visit us today on www.summit.org and subscribe at only 1,000 francs CFA a year. Join this community of bold businesses. Let us rise together.
The first thing is about your vision. What do you want to do? If you know that what you want to do is the right thing, you stick to it.
Yeah.
And for your vision, you must look for strategies to grow. You look at where you are and where you want to go. When you have I told in that book, I said, I had a vision helping women, but I had no path, a vision with no compass.
Yeah.
Your vision must give you a direction where you have to go. When you understand, you as the leader, you as the owner of your business, you own your vision and you know what it means. And then you start talking to people who don't understand what you understand. You are trying to, you start communicating and they don't have, you have people who don't care.
Reference point for what you're saying.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't even know what you are doing. They are looking at, I'm trying to train somebody to have some skills. But what the person wants me to go and intervene, to go and meet a minister so that he should be admitted into that enam where I went to. Or somebody wants me to meet a minister to give him the job in the civil service. When you are trying to train the person to have the skills, you have passed through all of that, you know the challenges, but the person does not understand. So to help people identify their potentials is not easy. And that is why when you have to mentor somebody, you can be a role model to everyone. You can motivate everyone. But when you have to mentor somebody, you must identify those who are interested. You cannot train somebody who is not interested. And that is this problem that we have. So that, because you have to keep your vision going, what do? You conceive. When you conceive, if the people are not ready to implement, you start implementing. And then now when we implement, who are the people to evaluate? You don't have anyone, they don't do it perfectly, you don't do it. You have to go in and follow up. That means you start from your conception and you follow up till the end. That's what I'm saying, that even in your business, you must be in your business. You must be in. Once you are in it, you will understand. You will understand that vision matters. And you will understand that people matter. And the kind of people, the people you are looking for must be people who will align in your vision. You can't work with people who don't align in your vision. You kick them out. You can have 2-3 people. Before, as a leader, it is not about your position. It is about you and your followers and results. A leader must bring out results. You must achieve. You must achieve. And if you will not achieve with everybody, that is why you become a all by yourself, because you are out to make sure that you achieve. As a leader, you want results. I talked to you about management by result, by PMB. If you are a result oriented person, You will not be dancing around with people who don't care.
Yeah.
So you have to work and identify those who will align with your vision, and that's how you will achieve. So going back to the rural women, there are women who will listen to what you are saying, and once they find out that they can get anything, they will listen, and you try to build their skills, because once they have faith in you, once they believe in you, you will achieve the results and you will see the impact. The leader, everything is about impact. Influence is about impact. Influence is not the position, it's not the power. It is about the impact that you create, and that impact should change people's lives. Once there are changes when you see the changes, if I say I'm working with the Bayam Selam, I should have a reason for working with the Bayam Selam women. Why should I go to work with the Bayam Selam women? I should have a reason, and if I have a reason, I need to bring the results. Maybe I want to help them acquire financial skills. That is the reason. And if I'm working, if there are people there who don't care, some will not. If you are asking them to go try to save money or try to do this, and they don't listen, you will not work with everybody. You will work with those who will align, those who will listen as a leader, because you have to create that impact. You have to. That is when people start believing in you, seeing the changes, that's when leadership is earned. That is when the influence starts coming. When there are changes, and you yourself, you are also seeing the changes in your vision. If not, you start dancing with everybody. Going back to the other side of things, sometimes you walk alone, because some people, they don't know what they should do. They don't know what they should do. There are some people who are out, they are genuine people, but they don't know what they should do. So you need to put them down, help them to understand themselves. For you as a leader, your followers, you must equip them and empower them.
Just as we're wrapping, coming towards the end, I want us to now try and bring it all together. And so I'm thinking about your entire leadership journey, and I'm imagining how much influence you have now, and the corridors that you're able to, the doors that you're able to open for several rural women, for children that are coming up. And as you transfer everything that you have learned in the course of your own life to the next generation, you're an educator, you have a school helping these children. We were talking earlier, and you even mentioned that when you started Mike Denny, there were even more teachers than there were children. But one of the things that prompted you was the decadence, the moral decadence that was existing, and you wanted to see what you could do to fix that. Today, in the business world, where money is not taught in schools, our parents are still a little shy to tell us the secrets of money, how to attract money, how to manage it, how to make it grow, how it should multiply. All of these things put together. What is your wisdom nugget that for every child, every grandchild, or every woman entrepreneur that you work with, that you train, you hope that they will get? And what is the one thing, in the same light, that you hope that anyone who reads this book gets from your story, and that you would, in a way, you would say, I want for this to be Lena's legacy?
Okay. So, to talk about all of this, I think the first thing is that the vision. When I started in all of this, my leadership journey with all the challenges I had, the challenges made me to understand my vision, my purpose, and the challenges helped me to invest in myself by reading books. In fact, I didn't have mentors. I didn't have mentors, but physical mentors. But my mentors were my books, the books I read, the conferences I attended, the workshops, the seminars. That's how I got that is how I came to the inspiration to work. I will advise any other leader to attend conferences, to read books. Continuous learning is very important. Continuous learning, it helped me. But now that I've written all of this, I had no mentor, but I'm ready to mentor the young ones in school. I'm ready to teach life skill. I'm teaching life skills to students for them to understand, to the young women and to the young girls. I'm ready to mentor everyone, anyone who is ready for me to mentor them. There are some who are already calling me, and I'm ready for them. To mentor them, the first thing is that you let them acquire the skills. Let them equip the skills, the leadership skills, management skills, all that, because having certificates is good, but having skills would make it sustainable. That's the first thing I advise them and let them. Then the next thing is, you can't mentor somebody without looking at the person's difficulties. I look at their challenges. Comparing to my own challenges, I try to share my own challenge, my own experiences with them, help them navigate their difficulties. And when you are a mentor, you must connect to that person. You must be ready to hold that person's hand, lift that person, make sure that the person belongs to make the person to belong to where you are. And the greatest thing is that you must empower that person once you give the skills to that person. So I'm ready to do all of this so that the next generation of female leaders, not only female leaders, because I've also created the Men Should Lead Forum, where I also mentor young boys. So what I should tell them is that I need to help them to learn, to grow, and to also influence. And to also influence. There's one thing is leadership is that you must develop other leaders. So by mentoring them, I'm also trying to develop other leaders for my legacy, so that tomorrow they should also, put down what I have. And that's why this book is written, because they can also take my own challenges, use it, and then they can even go beyond. You see, it's like in the relay match, when you want to hand over the baton, you must give the baton to somebody who will do it more than you, who will run faster than you. And to do that, you must develop their mindsets, build their skills, help them. And when you develop leaders, when you develop others, what they gain, when they get from me, with what they have, once they take it, they will go beyond what I've done.
You have done.
So it is good to, I'm ready to mentor and to develop other leaders who will take the relay, especially like in school. I'm not trying now, my reason now for talking to young girls, it is not about what I want to do. It is about what I want to build for my legacy, what I want to build, so that tomorrow others will take it. And that is with this idea, that's why I've created so many things. I have the Bella channels for personal development. That's my master classes every end of the month for training leaders for personal leadership and personal development. I have entrepreneurship training, where I train the business women, the young graduates, Kawiko women, about entrepreneurship and the management skills, for them to have their management skills. That is why now I have the Women's Trust Fund about money, and my Bella Center for Skills Development, where I'm trying to build the skills of the young people. So, and I'm ready to mentor them.
Have you ever failed?
Of course, of course. Since I had no mentor, I realized that failure is part of us.
Yeah.
So I failed several times, especially with women. You know, the other day you heard me. You know, I didn't know. Somebody just said, one woman just came up and said, "We know one with autocratic meetings for So I didn't know the way I had. Maybe she was not happy with the way I handled meetings. But if she had told me in a nice way, it would be different.
Yeah.
So we should know how to manage conflict. We should learn how to manage other people. But when she said it, I was very angry. Sometimes I would say, but how did I even come to this thing? Why should I even be doing this? But then when you look at others, you say, I have to continue for the sake of others.
People, yeah.
And then, you see, right now, when I'm criticized, I go to it. I had to read leadership styles because somebody said I was an autocratic leader. I went to the internet, and thank God that now we have the internet. We are also making use of that.
Yeah.
I went to the internet, who is an autocratic leader, and I saw it. And then I realized that I read all the leadership styles.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Bertha Yenwo. It was such a pleasure having you on Show Me the Money, and we hope that we would have more opportunities. Where can we get the book now for people who are not able to attend the launch and who don't have a copy? So where do we get From Uncertainty to Influence?
At the moment, we have some people out with the books. I myself, I have them in every occasion I'm going there. So, but we are setting out. We have them in the Cosmos Bookshop, but in Mike Denny in my office, Mike Denny Institute. The books are there.
Okay.
My secretary at the moment, but we are trying to set out. We have them in Bamenda, in Douala. Ruth Tembe will have them in Douala, and so on.
All right.
Yes.
So please, if you want a copy, reach out to go to any of those places. If you're in Yaoundé, you can go to the Mike Denny Institute or to the Cosmos Publishers Bookshop. If you're in other towns in Cameroon, please reach out. We're going to put doctor's contact in the comment so that you can where you can get the books in the comment section and you can get more. And doc, what if we're out of the country?
Oh, the book is on Amazon.
It's also on Amazon.
On Amazon.
Yes. So the book is also on Amazon, so you can find From Uncertainty to Influence. How much does a copy sell for?
It's a copy with this is 10,000 francs in Cameroon.
That's the hardcover.
That's the hardcover.
Yes.
But the soft copy is 7,500.
7,500. So fair pricing. I think even if you check on Amazon, you would see the lessons that Doctor shares in this book are invaluable. You do want to get them. Very practical, down to earth, simple, simply explained lessons. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. Thank you so much for the work you do.
Thank you, Richard, for giving me this opportunity to talk about my leadership challenges, my experiences. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching and listening to Show Me the Money. If today's conversation sparked something in you, share it, rate the show, and join the community of builders rewriting Africa's business story. Remember, knowledge means nothing without action, and your next move could change everything. I'm Richard Atem, and I'll see you on the next episode. Until then, stay hungry, stay building.